Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm David Sponheim and I'm here to do some cooking with you today in my kitchen. I'm going to bring in my backup camera. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, the hideous plug in the wall. Yeah, I prefer plugs though to wireless charging systems. Yeah, I'd rather have my toaster plugged in than wireless. Thank you. Hey, yeah, meet my beautiful plants. They're here to say hello to you. Yeah, cacti, all kinds of different things. We got a ghost cactus plant in the background. We got a couple different types of cactuses. I've got a dahlia that's finally going into the winter season. It's starting to sprout new leaves, but it's not going to, put out anything. And of course, we got a steak dinner we're going to make tonight. Yeah, let me put it on the screen for you. And let me get the show going because this is Technology Thursday. I'll put something in front of the hideous plugs. Right, so I'm going to open up the browser. Technology Thursday is dedicated to using technology, so what a better forum than for me to use a laptop in the kitchen, which is fairly state-of-the-art as of 3 years ago, but we're ready to start upgrading. I really think I'm ready for a new desktop. Although I love the desktops I have two desktops. One's an i7 4th generation, and the other's an i7 6th generation. They work okay, but man, multitasking is going to be a big task as we move forward. So opening up the chat room. Yeah, so the more things we run in the background, the more we're going to need a little bit more faster processors. But by and large, desktops are doing very well. i5s work great. I know many of you have i5s with a gigabyte of, with a terabyte hard drive. That's a common thing now. Your RIP doesn't mentally gone, or you're drinking too much, or you're working on your six-pack, or what exactly do you mean? And welcome everybody at the Boxcast network as well as the Twitch network. Oh, we're not on Twitch right now. No, I don't do Twitch till I go in the other room. You're buff. You're not ripped. Okay, you are ripped. Let's move on. As you know, I've got the Meow TV knife that he gave me, which is pretty amazing. He gave a whole set of knives from Syria called Damask knives, and impressive. I was quite impressed, yeah. And what we're going to do here is get the pan going in the back. I'm going to go ahead and get that going at level 3, and then we're going to work with the steak here too. So let that on level 3 to get it warmed up. Oh, I've got an extra cover over it. I don't need that cover. Okay. Whoa. Getting hot. So what I'm going to do is get the onion ready first, which is usual for our show. We're going to slice it down the middle a little bit. And you don't want to take off the tip protector, so you don't need that on there. Although don't lose that. That's important. Yeah. Yeah, when cutting with a knife like this, you got to be super careful. Yeah, I'm going to only use this knife for the meat stage because I use a French curl knife, which you can see has like a French curl on it. It's just a slight curve, and it's very good for rocking, like going back and forth like that. Yeah, so if we're going to cut the onion, we might as well cut it right there. Leave the meat for the plate. What's the date on that meat? Let me check. Hang on. Best if used by. Let me take a look. Hang on. I did put it on the glass portion of this. Yeah, it's best if used by November 9th, so I'm a couple days off, okay? But it was 30% off, and I paid 712 minus 30%, so I'm going to put this at $5 worth of meat. Yeah, although I'd like to call it 4. I paid 460, so yeah, let's be exact. We'll go to that, and then I'm going to add a little broccoli to make it 5. So that's just from the garden, from the organic broccoli I bought. So I'm going to add a little of that to make it 5. So the broccoli and the meat kind of go together in a way. I don't know why, but it's, well, in digesting meat, the cruciferous vegetables really work well with that protein and get that nutritious amino acid into your body, like boom. It's kind of like a boost, the broccoli. So I'm going to use the stock just for the cooking. And we're also going to use the red and the green pepper, which I paid 50 cents for each. So we're going to start with 5 for the meat, $1 for the peppers, and $1 for that zucchini. They're going up in price. So up to $7. I'm not done yet. And then I'm going to use a can of tomatoes, which I put at 50 cents, even though I paid 38 cents for this can, or 28 cents. It was a sale. I'm going to put this at $1 with the salsa. So, yeah, well, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the rice. Now, I may not use the corn, but you can certainly use corn in this meal, and Del Monte makes a really good non-GMO corn. Yeah, really. In fact, all the products Del Monte makes are non-GMO, which, well, at least look for the label. Let's just say that. I think they've still got some out there that they're still working with, but hats off to that company for doing that transition. Yeah, that was great. Awesome. And I encourage all of the companies that are out there, food producers, to start migrating to that model. You know, the elites are not very nice right now, and they're not treating us very nice, but we, the people, really want to look for longevity and health. Yeah, so we kind of stress that in our show. Yeah, I'm not looking for any of you to have a short lifespan, that's for sure. I hope you all live a long life. Now, getting to the onion. Basic cut, not a big deal. You lay it down half on the surface and just go slice basic right through it. It doesn't have to be big. They can be like a half inch, because this is a big stir fry meal. And we're gonna stir fry the meat in the onion. We're gonna start the onion on the hot pan, and I'll put a little oil down. Looks like I'm ready for a refill. Yeah. You like that? I know. Okay, we'll get that. Hang on. The dreaded water from the last night's cleaning. We don't want that in there. Yeah, I sometimes overcook. I've been cooking too much, actually. But I love cooking with the same pans. And I prefer stainless steel over anything non-stick. Okay, we'll get the onions right in on the pan. I'm not really getting the sizzle yet, but that's okay. We have some time to cut the meat. All right, now this meat is Northwest grown, raised on family-owned ranches in the Northwest. Yeah, now you're getting your full-on amino acids in the meat. Now I don't support the other industry, the meatless industry, and I think it's safe to say that there are a lot of us who feel that way. And the big complaint the meatless industry has is that it takes a lot of water to raise beef. Now, I sometimes wanted to rinse this off, but I heard from experts and they say, don't rinse it off. Yeah, just let it go. So I'm hesitant to just cut it. But here I go. Ready? When cutting, always slice away from you. Find the sinew in the meat and grab it like this, and then cut down away from your fingers and go along the sinew. This is the first stage in cutting the meat. That way you can get rid of all the sinew and the fat, the grizzle that might be clinging to the meat. Now this is a top round tip, which is about the best you can get for the lowest cost. I go for the tip because it's just a better area for tenderness. Top round per se, yeah, I don't know. All right, so you have this really sharp knife, and you got to be very careful. Always look at the knife, not at the chat room. I hope you're delicious. Are you talking to the cow? You talk to the cow when you're cooking? That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's just a little too... and they won't eat this, you know, in India. They consider this a sacrilegious act, what I'm doing right now. Yeah, and I understand their concern. I do. But beef is a big part of America's history and lore, and after listening to a Junus online and having this guy tell me about the benefits of eating what he said raw meat, and I'm going, no, I'm going to cook it, thank you. But I can see the benefits of amino acids in my physical well-being. I can't explain it really, other than I don't have any problem with teeth, whereas I have problems with teeth when I go off of meat. You know, my gums will start to be a little weird. Yeah, so the grizzle you'd think is of no value, right? Nope, put that right in the pan right now. Yeah, just put it right in there. Let that get render with the onions. And render unto the onions what the lard will spray unto the heavens. All right, and yeah, you see I just had a little piece of meat contaminate my breadboard. You see that? I just noticed that. Major meltdown. You got to stop what you're doing immediately and... No, I'm just kidding. I don't think that's a big deal. And this smells like great meat, by the way. And aged meat is... Angus meat is aged 2 weeks. So when you get Angus brand... We're going for a really thin cut. So let me get the camera dialed in here. Yeah, really thin. And it's so thin it's going to be mouth-watering. And it's going to cook nicely nestled on nice caramelized onions with a pepper. I have a seasoned pepper I want to finish off the bottle back there. Again, always look at the knife when you're cutting, and I'm cutting on a plate so it doesn't have any residue go into a breadboard. You know, that's important. Yeah, it's extremely important when cutting that you always watch the blade and always maintain. Of course, some of you may not have that eye-hand coordination, so you may want to pass this task off to somebody else in the family, like, oh yeah, I don't really like to do that. Okay, well, there's bound to be somebody in your family that likes to cut the meat. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend you? Well, I'm not offending the meat. I'm actually eating it because it died for some purpose, right? That's what a lot of people believe. These animals are put on this earth to help supply us with what we need when they reach the end of their life. I don't support rapidly growing meat, but you know, if you want to do it and it's your business, I'm not going to stop you. I would like to see USDA chipping of every single bit of meat out there. I'm going to put that one on there right now. In fact, I'm going to get them started. No, not quite yet. Yeah, just kind of run the grizzle around the pan with the onion. What we're doing is we're getting the grill kind of ready. Continuing the meat cutting process. Okay, and then as I get closer to the edge, I just trim the edge of pieces off. You know, and I'm going for like a 1/4 inch. I'm shooting for that distance, and anything less than that, it's good, because otherwise this meat won't be fajitas. And we're going to write on the thing steak fajitas today, because I'm going to cook them with the peppers. Yeah, it's kind of a flash cook. Yeah, and the rice comes in a bag. It's $1.50 for the rice, so I think we're up to $8 now, or $8.50. But if you make rice from scratch, I'm going to make this whole dinner $8 because if you do make rice from scratch, you will be saving a lot of money. About $1, actually. If you consider $1 a lot of money, that's great. Okay, so I'm running into a little bit of sinew. I'm just kind of mapping myself through here, watching my fingers at all time. Okay, see how I kind of ran into a little sinew there? Right there on the edge. So now I'm going to kind of like hold over the knife and go like this. And this is a sharp enough knife to kind of like take whatever good meat is on there, off of there. Right? Because that's the kind of thing you don't want to get in people's mouth when they're eating. But it is great for flavoring a pan, you know. Just kind of use the knife to pull it apart and then put it in the pan. Now I'm sure your dog would like to eat that sinew, so if you are a person who is a dog lover, you could probably hand that over to your dog after it's cooked. They'll probably eat it raw, you know. That's how dogs are. Humans are a little bit more careful with everything. That's sinew. Yeah, I just don't want the sinew in the meal. I want this to be a tasty meal where no one has any kind of a problem. Now this is the stage where it takes extreme concentration because you're like, okay, I've been cutting for a while and I'm still wondering, am I going to be done here? Is this going to be over soon? Oh, I'm getting a little tired doing this, Dave. Oh. Well, that's when you need to tighten up your grip and figure out and always maintain concentration. Otherwise, you could hurt yourself. Yeah. See, I'm taking this side off now, too. The sinew's going in the pan. Now, if you want to make sinew soup, you can do that. Maybe I'll make some sinew soup. Yeah. Y'all hated his sinew soup. It's like roadkill stew. It's good stuff. We come from a long line of survivors, we Americans, and we could handle a little bit of roadkill. Yeah, you know, I'm not a big supporter of hunting, but I'm not going to take your rights to hunt away from you, you know? I mean, it's like, geez, the liberal mindset is just, I don't know, man. We do have a lot of deer, and I don't like to see them killed. I love deer. But if I was hungry, oh yeah. I'm sure I'd be eating that deer. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if I was hungry, yeah. As much as I love deer. So it comes down to the whole word hunger, you know. What does hunger make people do? I wonder if there are any people who in animal rights activist groups that eat meat on a regular basis. You think? Okay, we're done. I'm going to spread it out. What's this? It's just something that was clinging together. Okay. I'm going to wash the knife. That's a really nice knife that Meow gave me. And we haven't heard from Meow in about 4 months now, so we're assuming, you know, the worst, unfortunately. Okay, and I'm going to take this low salt organic seasoned pepper and give it a shot. This is the least impact part of the meal. It's just shaking the shaker top. Now, if this is seasoned with salt in it, you're going to have to compensate for that later. Now, some people want to use celery. I'm going to use celery just for the heck of it because I knew I have a really nice celery here, and I want to pull off one of the branches that's kind of tight. Pull the sinew off like that. You don't need that. All right. Yeah, I'm going to do that for flavor too. It has a salty aspect. Let's take a look at the grizzle. Let's looking good. Pan's looking great. Okay, now I'm going to bring in more onion. Okay, we're going to throw that on the hot pan. That's the sizzle we're looking for. I'm going to get some green pepper in there. Make sure you peel the label off. That's really important. I can't tell you how many times I've chopped something and found out, oh, does this taste like label to me? No, I think it's happened a couple times in my life. That was a nice label, very nutritious. Take the seeds and kind of rub them off there. I'm going to put the green pepper in the pan. Okay, go for a nice tight chop, about a half an inch actually, not too tight. And that minimizes your chopping too. Okay, great. Get those seeds out of there. Hey, get away from there. Okay, throw that in the pan. All right, we're going to set it on a bed of peppers and onions. Lay the meat on. But wait, what about a little bit of seasoning? I'm going to put a little Patty LaBelle on the meat. Patty LaBelle number 3. Just a little bit. I've also got some mild salsa I want to work with. It's 130 milligrams per 2 tablespoons, so I'm not going to use too much, but I'm just going to pour a little salsa on here. I'd say that's 3 tablespoons. About 200 milligrams of salt. And I'm going in the hot pan with this. Here we go. Oh, but first I want to pull the grizzle out. I think I'll use my fingers. There we go. Because otherwise, the whole point of pulling the grizzle off was a moot point, right? It's like, why pull the grizzle off, Dave? There we go. We're going to put that face down with the salsa at the bottom. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and throw the cover on and let this cook at a high temperature, or a temperature of level 3. So what we're doing is we're sautéing the meat in the onions and make sure they're kind of mixed around together. There you go. All right. Yeah, level 3, and let's just leave that there right where it is. But I'm going to add a few more vegetables. Yeah, we're going to do the celery for roughage. I'm going to do the broccoli too. You like gayness? Well, that's great. You know, I'm glad you're accepting of others. Yeah, that's a good thing. I am responding to chat. Being I'm over here doesn't mean I can't respond to chat, because actually I have the chat in my head too. I'm using a new technology I developed called ChatDar. I can read chat from 4 or 5 miles away. Using spectroscopic analysis, I'm throwing the celery on top of this. Using spectroscopic analysis, I'm able to read your chat from at least 4 miles away. I heard that there's, well, I can't even talk about some of the things I've heard because they're top secret. I live on a very stealth island here. But I heard that there are satellites that can see your monitor and what's on it. Isn't that trippy? The technology is just phenomenal. And boy, those nanotechnologists been busy the past 20 years. Boy, yeah. Busy, busy, busy. Working with DARPA. Boy, they've been really working hard. Okay. I'm just trying to stay within the parameters here. We're going to just do a nice tight dice on this because this takes a little longer to cook. Broccoli. It's really good for you. See, it forms a T in the middle. The broccoli forms a T when it grows, so it's a cruciferous vegetable, like a cross. It's very, very good for building up a thing in your body called glutathione. If you can increase your glutathione levels, that's all the more power to you. Scientists have verified that that is one of the things in your body that will help eliminate toxins. So a lot of people in the health food industry have been focusing on, good quality. Now you notice how tight I have this? I mean, I'm even holding it right here because if you hold it over here, you're more likely to make a mistake. Plus, you have a lot less torque when you're far away from a knife. When you're out here, you have less torque. When you're up in here, you have more torque. It's easier to cut. Okay, we'll throw that on top as well. Then we're going to give this a cook at level 3 for just a bit while I get everything in there. Oh yeah, I got lots of stuff that's going in here. This is an $8 meal packed with incredible food and nutrition too. Okay. I'm going to do that red pepper too. Very colorful meal, yeah. Now normally I would marinate a piece of meat like that for a couple days, but yeah, the peppers are not organic. They come from Mexico, and I think we're lucky to even have peppers in the winter, frankly. They do a good job of growing a lot of produce in Mexico, and I commend them. I really do. They do a good job. I'm surprised that we aren't more attentive to their country in a lot of ways because of the work that they're doing down there for produce. We should be doing the same here in America. And we do. I mean, I will protect our tomato farmers in Florida. I don't know any candidate who's ever said that. We'll give you price protection. It may cost a few people a few extra dollars, but if it can alleviate the problem and the stress of the tomato industry in Florida, we can do it. Yeah, things like that you didn't get from Trump or Biden. Not enough protecting of the American industry. That's why I support the, look at all that good meat, That easily could go into your animal's mouth and feed it for the day, Okay, we're gonna rinse this off. Can you believe this is $1 now? And that's on sale. We're gonna do the zucchini toward the end, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the red pepper in. Uh-oh, we got a fly coming around here. It's a little gnat from my waterfall. Okay, we're going to put that on the plate like that. And now I'm going to throw a little Italian seasoning on top. About a teaspoon. Okay. Now I have a really good can of tomatoes, which I'm going to add as well to this concoction. So it's almost like the meat is stewing in the acids of tomato sauce. That's really important in making this type of a meal because you don't have that marination that you would normally get. And I got these cans for a song. They're from Italy. They're from Italy. I got them for a song. Whatever. Anyway, it wasn't a very good song. I'm going to put that on top. We're almost there. I'm going to push all that in now, keeping the meat at the bottom of the pan. Pushing it all toward the bottom. All right. Doesn't have to be perfect, Now you can add a little chili powder to this if you want, but don't add cayenne. That's a bit much. I'm going to push everything down, especially the broccoli. Now that has to be kind of like down, down, down. Okay, here we go. Cover it up. Crank it up to level 6. Boom. Now check out my kitchen. I've got my laptop over there on the Toastmaster, on the Black & Decker toaster. We've got nice black appliances here. I've got a Keurig back there behind the water bottles. I've got a blender I paid $10 for, also Black & Decker. I commend them on their low-cost appliances. They're pretty good. Yeah. And this is a GE Kitchen of Tomorrow, General Electric. Although I am still using my Magic Chef from 1993. Yeah, I'm still using the same dishwasher from 1993. I put a different, like a silver plate over the front. You can buy those inserts. Yeah, and the General Electric appliances are doing great. Got a nice stove here, which is awesome, and a nice refrigerator, which is not one of those ice maker ones. The ice maker ones are actually problematic. I know a guy who actually lost all the work he had put into his house. He spent $60,000 on a reno of his whole house, and like $30,000 he had to redo because one of those pipes in the back of a refrigerator decided to break. And it ran water through his whole house and totally ruined everything. Cost him like $30,000, and he could never get that money back. Sarah and I actually live in the same room. We're doing an experiment to see how I'm handling the shedding issue. Yeah. No, it's actually working out okay. I'm not going to say it's good yet because I still want to see how the shedding issue takes place. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Hey, hey, hey. We're trying to bring some level of normality back to our lives, you know. You have to build around that concept. Because you value, you know, I value Sarah greatly. I love her and, you know, I want her to do the best. And she really wants to do what she's doing. So I support her choice, whatever that choice is. That's the concept. Okay, so the rice that I get is from Trader Joe's. I get it in this refrigerator. I keep it in the top shelf here. And it's basically organic brown rice. And they're about $1.35 a piece, roughly. They're already prepped, pre-cooked, frozen. Really good product. You don't have to muss it. You know, there's no fuss with the rice cook in this. It's a very simple stage of the meal. So, how's it going, everyone? I hope you're enjoying this show so far. No, nobody's ever had a problem like that. Yeah. Andy, I think you're obsessed with something. Yeah, this is something that I think you have to work out with your personal life. I know John McAfee had a kind of an obsession like you have. Good luck finding a woman like he found, you know. She stood by him all the way to the point where she inherits all his money. Yeah. She's probably going to be a very fairly well-off woman, you know, living in as many safe houses that he has. Yeah, you should meet a woman like her. That would be fun for you. Yeah, somebody with your mental issues, you'd need someone like that. No, I don't track the whereabouts of my family members. Not into keeping track of people. There are a lot of family members I just don't, you know, pay homage to anymore. Oh my gosh, is there some more? Oh my gosh. Is there some more of this salsa in there? Did I not get it all? Oh yeah, a little sip. Oh man, that's incredibly powerful. Mmm. Southern Vineyard Petite Diced. Oh, it's inspired by Italy. It's not made in Italy. All day dang. It's made in Indiana. Yes, somewhere. Yes, I believe. Elwood, Indiana. Inspired by Italy. Really. But made in Elwood. I see a lot of products like that now. Companies have been doing some diversification to keep things rolling. I mean, I had some Switzerland inspired by Swiss Gruyere, made in Wisconsin. In fact, I should put that in the meal. Oh no, I actually have the Swiss Gruyere. Yes, of course. Poulet Gruyere. This is the real stuff. Cheese from Switzerland. I think I'll use this. It'll add flavor to the rice. Why not? So if you want to use something like a whole kernel, in case you don't have any vegetables, you can certainly do that. You know, that's not a bad idea, especially if you're going for a Tex-Mex flavor. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm almost ready to add the rice. Yes, hold on, please. Hmm. Okay, we're going to send one of these David Sponheims back, leaving this one. You know, there's no need to look at the meat. You could look at the beautiful. While I'm standing here doing nothing, you look at my garden and my waterfall. Okay. Steak fajita rice, $8 for, I would say, 6 people. That would be good enough. Do a little background here. Shadow too. Which should we underline it? Hey, Fajita. Hey, screw loose. Don't be so try to lighten up on that, because a lot of them are in transition, like you. They don't want to become gay. No, they can't help it, the soy they're eating or something, or something like that. Okay, let's get that. Let's get this zucchini in here. Let's do some Action Jackson chopping here. Go for a slight angle. I think I'm going to cut it in half. Make it kind of spread in the meal. Okay, throw that on top of everything. Lift it up and give it a stir. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, this is awesome. Oh man, that's going to be great. Okay, throw the zucchini on. Cover the top with it. It's kind of a Mediterranean dish, even though I'm using fajita style steak chicken. Okay, opening up the rice package. Yeah, there you go. covering the whole meal with the frozen rice, maintaining level 6. Okay, here we go. Boom. Yeah, frozen rice, yeah. You heard me. The idea is it's already pre-cooked. So the idea is to keep it tender. It's what it's doing is steam cooking now, and then I'm going to bring it into the meal at a high temperature and keep rotating. We're still 10 minutes out. You didn't know the rice was frozen? Error, 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 error. Well, you could probably cook it in the microwave if you want to, ruin the flavor and all the good quality. Error, 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 error. Hello, I'm David Sponheim. I'm in my kitchen cooking right now. Error, error. I'm going to reboot. Okay, I feel better now. Thank you. Notice how I reboot? Everything's better. I'm not a computer. I'm not a robot. I'm a human being. I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. I am not a robot. I am human. All right, whatever. Just because I look incredibly dangerous doesn't mean I'm a robot. This is the time of the meal that you don't really want to do because, it's like, oh yeah, everything's cooking. So we'll just hang in there, kill some time, clean up. Maybe I could chew on some of that grizzle. Yeah. Grizzler. The name's Grizzler. That'd be a great last name, wouldn't it? Grizzler. How you doing? What's my name? I'm Grizzler. What's up? Grizzle. It's what's for dinner. This would be a delicacy in some countries, I'm actually getting a little bit, I'm looking at it going, it smells good. I like that grizzle. We won't be using the corn today, but it's nice to know it's there. That's how I feel about all my canned vegetables, I say, boy, I'm glad you're in the cupboard, because I wouldn't want to be without you in the event of a disaster, Okay, let's have some garlic on the subject. I've got some little things I could trim. Garlic is the last thing you want to put in a meal with cheese, so let's go down here and zoom in on this. I know I didn't fool anybody with the robot routine, but whatever. It was fun while it lasted. The meat's cooking like crazy, man. It's overcooking in my mind. I personally like a little bit rare, But whatever. Hey, meat when it cooks gets more tender. Now, you don't need to add any salt to this meal because, frankly, salt makes meat tough. But you can definitely salt it on the way out. When you're getting ready to go to the table. The Parmesan I'm going to add to it will add a lot of natural salt to this. The tomatoes I put in it has not a lot of natural salt. The celery I put in it has a lot of natural salt. So, all these ingredients start steam frying together right now to infuse the flavor of the beef with the vegetables, with the rice. I know what you're saying. You sound normal, but it could be you're a computer. I know. But that's because I was the first guy that did this whole routine. 2 years before Max Headroom came out, I did a stage appearance where I did the whole thing. 15 personalities. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the guy that I was on stage with, who's supposed to be my straight guy, the straight man, he ended up screwing up all his lines. And it's like, oh man, we rehearsed this how many times? So I just started ad-libbing it, and I think people were so impressed with it. They said, wow, this is pretty good. We ought to do something about this. But the idea, the concept of Max Headroom, I consider that an original idea. I'm not trying to grab it from somebody. I think it's pretty cool. When it came out, everyone said, hey, Dave, looks that guy's just like your act. I said, yeah, it seems kind of weird, doesn't it? And then It was just one day at the Comedy Store, right, in front of 150 people. And they were all, industry regulars, I guess. Okay, here we go. We're going to go into it right now. Throw the rice on top. And put some cheese on top of this. Could be Parmesan. Then dive into it with this spatula. And kind of shuffle it all into itself. Keep it roaring at level 6. When you're getting the garlic to drop into the water, will help infuse the garlic smell in the meal. We're not quite there yet. See how nice, and always rub the bottom so nothing is sticking. Okay, there you go. You can use the cheese for garnish at the very end. And if you want to put things like turmeric in meals like this, you can, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going with kind of the tomato base. If it was a curry dish, I would consider it. If I was making curry, but I am not. Many of you don't like the taste of beef, but in India, we do not cook with beef. It is considered verboten. Okay, thanks. Thanks for saying whatever you said in the chat room. Always rub the bottom, yeah. Oh, it's great. It's incredible. I mean, the whole meal is like, wow, it's out of this world. Let me get my container to serve it in. Yeah, this is the color of my cat. Isn't that nice? Amber. I bought this 1982. Yeah, they were having a closeout sale. I think I got it for $5. It's the best dang thing to go to on a glass top cooking. Because if you put glass on glass, you can keep it warm. Your meal can pretty much keep it warm. So if you're preparing a meal, for a large group of people, this is perfect. Something like that. Okay. I'm going to turn it down to level 3 now. I'm kind of like stage down the cooking, so you just kind of like bring it down to level 3 from 6. And typically that's medium high down to medium low, or right between low and medium. Happy late Diwali for the Indian friends, yes, of course. I don't think so. I think they recognize that I'm speaking just like they would. I try to use imitation as a form of flattery. Like even when I did that incredibly flattering video about Barack Obama where I pretended to be a black guy. Wasn't that nice? I mean, I kind of gave him kind of an air of credibility when I did that. Yeah, I want to elevate people when I do impersonation. Yeah, I would do another impersonation, but I'm not going to do that either. All right, so we're done here. We can clean up the kitchen, wipe down, swab the decks. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little paint, like oil on the bottom of that pan here, and in fact, you know what? I'm not going to slow down the heating process. I'm not going to put it in that pan. I'm going to leave it right on the stove. And you know what it looks like, right? This way it gets the benefit of cooking on its own heat over time. I'm going to give it another shuffle, and I'm going to say goodbye to this meal until I eat it later. Here we go. So say hello and goodbye to the meal. Whoa, that looks really good. Got good color, great coloring. The zucchini looks good. And I think cooking a little bit longer and letting all these flavors come together will be perfect. So I'm going to keep it on the stove. Yeah, I'm going to let it cook right into itself. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for the steak fajita rice dinner. Appreciate it. I'll be in the other room and I'll be picking up where I left off last night. See you then. Take care, everybody.